recognizes the gentlewoman from Tennessee.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I rise today to urge my colleagues to address the Biden administration's reckless decision to use taxpayer dollars to purchase weapons and ammunition for the IRS, which is a tax collection agency. Last year, the American people were shocked to learn that the Biden administration was providing billions of dollars to the IRS to hire 80,000 new agents, which job it will be to go after hardworking middle-class Americans. The IRS should be focused on assisting our constituents with tax compliance and ensuring Americans receive their entitled refund, not focusing on arming its agents with the aim of further extorting the American taxpayer. The majority of Americans don't trust the government to be good stewards of their tax dollars, and arming the IRS certainly will not inspire new hope in our system. Let me make one thing clear. Washington does not have a tax collection problem. It has a spending problem. And by disarming our tax collectors, this amendment offers us an opportunity to refocus the image of the IRS and restore faith in our government. After all, under President Biden, our government agencies have been weaponized enough. Mr. Chairman, I reserve the balance of my time.
Gentlelady reserves. The gentleman from Arkansas.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I claim time in opposition to the gentlelady's amendment.
The gentleman is recognized.
I rise in opposition, as I mentioned before in the previous debate. We had a robust debate in committee about the issue in full committee and adopted an amendment which capped IRS firearms and ammunition levels as of July 13th, 2023. I think that's reasonable. This amendment would remove that cap. I understand that some of my colleagues have concerns about federal agencies holding vast amounts of firepower. However, we need to be careful not to deprive our agencies of the ability to purchase firearms to carry out their lawful duties. So it's under that circumstance that I oppose the amendment, and I reserve the balance of my time.
Reserves, gentlelady from Tennessee.
Well, I understand why the IRS criminal investigation agents carry weapons, but, you know, I'm looking at a 2019 report where it was reported by the end of 2017, the IRS already had 4,487 guns and over 5 million rounds of ammunition. I don't know what they need that for. So, you know, when we have more agents carrying weapons than we do Marines carrying weapons, that's a problem. I reserve the balance of my time.
Gentlelady reserves, gentleman from Arkansas.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yes, I'll yield to my friend, the ranking member of the full committee.
I thank the gentleman for yielding. I adopt not only his premise that we have language in the bill that was fully debated in committee that will, I think, achieve the knowledge that we need. But in addition, I would reiterate, we want to respect law enforcement, whether it's called IRS agents, because people are breaking the law. And for whatever reasons, people feel compelled, if they're tax cheats or drug dealers laundering money or some ilk like that, who are a dangerous group of people, particularly when they've got criminal gains and not paying any taxes on that, although it is clearly owed. It is unfortunate that we continue to, A, defund those folks and limit them. I think the chairman's absolutely right in his objection to this. But it demeans the officers who are risking their lives to do the duty that we have given them, and that they have a sworn responsibility to do. And if they were called the Rolling Heights Police Department, and you said, we're going to cap their weapons, we're going to do this, I think people would be on your side of the aisle, with all due respect, standing up and saying they're defunding the Rolling Hills the police department. Isn't that awful? But because they're called IRS agents to enforce the law, to confront crimes, that somehow they're lesser law enforcement officers at lesser risk. I think that's not the case. And I join the chairman in opposition. I yield back.
Mr. Chairman, look, I would say, notwithstanding the fact that these federal agencies engaged in law enforcement activities, whether it's IRS, FBI, it doesn't make any difference. They're engaged in some very dangerous activities. Notwithstanding the fact that they're engaged in activities, we should all remember that part of their mission is also to train for these dangerous circumstances. And there are training events and weapons qualifications, all kinds of things that require the expense of ammunition, maybe not for a nefarious target downrange, but in order to be able to make them better at their trade should that circumstance present itself. So it's under those conditions that I oppose the gentlelady's amendment reluctantly, and I would yield back the balance of my time.
Gentleman yields. Gentlewoman from Tennessee.
Well, the last thing I heard, I think that we have a couple people who haven't paid taxes. Hunter Biden is one, and more than likely President Biden. And the IRS should not be the agency that goes off after criminals. That's called an agency by the letters of the FBI. And if they want to enforce the border with guns, then go after the 8 million plus illegals that are coming across the border, and also the known terrorists that we have in this country. And with all that said, this is my amendment, and with that I yield back, sir.
Gentleman yields. Questions on the amendment offered by the gentlelady from Tennessee. Those in favor say aye.